Hi everyone, our first structural learning class. This is the first of three. It's a return to some of the things I learned and was able to do with my students during COVID. We'll see how well this one goes before getting your feedback on what worked and what didn't for the next one. So, as we discussed, week 6, week 11 and week 14 all have 1 day of holiday. And those are the 3 structural learning classes. Each one there will be some task, and like this one, a video, and you should complete the task. It's worth 6%, so pay attention. So for our first structural learning lesson, there's 3 that I've chosen, highlighted in green here. Basic teaching principles, the key education theorists, and questioning. Now I've chosen them because they should help you build your projects, build better lesson structure and knowing what to do in your projects. So the first one, Rosenshine's Principles, I'm going to open up here. So I've opened the PDF. It's a nice step-by-step procedure. I'll focus on some of the things that you should do as teachers in future classes, but also in your projects. Obviously, daily review is important. You can't do that because you're only doing your project once. However, you'll see I try to review things that we've done previously. Only introduce a moderate amount for the students. Too much and students are overloaded, and too little and you're not efficient with your time. Questions are always important. It could be at the end or during your lesson. So summative assessment is at the end of a lesson, formative is during, and we're going to look at some question types. Provide models, so that's examples. Give an example of how they can do something, your task, that is. This can be an example written on the board, shown in a short video, or perhaps you demonstrating what they should do in your pair. Practice, of course. Check that students understand before moving in to the task. At the bottom you'll see obtain high success rate. 80% seems to be optimal. So you want people to succeed, so that's again not too difficult, not too easy. And then this word, scaffolds. We're going to come across that as a second. It's an assist to learning. So it could be from you, and it's also from other students who are helping each other. Now, moving on to key education theorists. These are names that you'll come across in university. You've perhaps already come across them. And this is what that PDF looks like. In short, Vygotsky, there is an acronym called the ZPD, Zone of Proximal Development. This is the range of learning opportunities that a student has. And this word, scaffolding, that we met, changing the level of support to meet the ability of the child. And again, that's through your support and other students, pairs, groups helping each other. Piaget, schema. Connect what the students already know. Obviously, you want to check their base knowledge and build from that. Constructivism. Learn by doing rather than being told, especially children. Skinner, behaviorism. Of course, this can be simple praise, like well done, good work, rewards, points, prizes. Teamwork helps reinforce this rather than individual work, especially for your projects. Let's skip Brunner and move on to Bloom, Bloom's taxonomy, which you may have seen before. It's in the form of a pyramid, starting with the bottom. So before you, a student, understands a topic, you have to remember. Before you can apply that information, you have to understand and remember. Before you can analyze, you need to do these three. So it's working from the bottom up until the most difficult type of task. For our projects, we're avoiding creativity because it takes too much time and base ability. So we're really focusing on the lower, well, any of the lower five, but these are the simplest ones. From remembering, understanding, applying to analyzing, looking at different parts of a topic that you're presenting. And then the last essential education theorist, Howard Gardner, the multiple intelligences theory that, again, I'm sure you have come across. And it looks something like this. So instead of saying a student or a person is smart from a high IQ score, intelligent quotient, we're saying there's different areas of intelligence. It can be through movement, if you're good at sport or coordination, interpersonal, good between people, socializing, language, mathematics, nature, understanding yourself, self-reflection, visual, drawing, pictures, and music. MI theory. Your projects might involve a number of different areas. So we're not just looking at language. You're probably moving into, like if you're doing a project about music, you might be seeing if people can recognize, for example, which is AI versus which is a real singer's voice, or which is an artificially produced photograph versus which is a real one. Things like this can tie in different areas of knowledge. And lastly, questioning, a core component of your projects. First, called a cold call. So that's when you're literally pointing to one student, getting them to answer. It is used, but it's also the most nerve-wracking and difficult for a student to answer. This one is a good technique for your project. Think, pair, share. So you give students a chance to think about a topic, put them in pairs to discuss or complete a task. So if there's something they're not sure about, it can be clarified, explained by their partner, and then sharing it to the whole class, where there's less chance of failure, more chance of success, aiming for that 80% of success. So in this little diagram, we had a couple of these that we've talked about: check for understanding, think, pair, share, cold calling. No opt-out is another good technique you can use, meaning student participation. Make sure everyone takes part, even students who don't want to, the English is not good, and that's done through group work, individual tasks, like we did with sentence race. Every student must write a word, or mini boards. Everyone's using a mini board. And if you open the teacher toolbox file, essential for your projects, you'll see different ways that you can do this, making sure everyone in a group or the class is doing something. For example, running dictation. And again, an individual has a task to go to the wall. You've put some papers around the classroom. They have to, in this case, memorize a sentence or find an answer to a question, come back to the group, say that another group member writes it down, a different group member gets up to go and do the runner task. Shared tasks, everyone's taking part, helping each other as a team. Scaffolding will happen where if something is wrong, incorrect, another student is going to help provide assistance. Agree, disagree. So this could be done with the red or green flags that I had. It could also be done with movement in a line. So you say 3, 2, 1, move. And they have to move right if they think it's true or correct, left for false, this kind of thing. Again, you can see everyone taking part. See who understands, who doesn't. Find your mate is good for randomizing groups. So instead of just pairing directly with friends, you're getting them to find a new partner. Out of focus. Instead of just showing pictures of something, the picture is blurry, it's out of focus, or you're showing only a small part. Then students have to predict, guess, giving people a chance to say something. DIY word order, cut up sentences. So again, if everyone has a part of a sentence, they're trying to work together to put it in the correct order. Finish the sentence. Instead of you writing the complete sentence in your PowerPoint or on the board, students have to say what they think comes next. And then things like A to Z we've done. If you're doing music, everyone has to name a different music genre with a different letter. Like I did with, what was it? I did it recently in class. Okay, I think that's enough for our first video. I'm going to post a quiz assignment on Google Classroom using the information I've given you, and you can access this also from the links that I gave you in the syllabus. Structural Learning 1, you can get to the file, etc. And the Teacher Toolbox, which is in the stream. I'm going to ask some questions. Try and find the answer from this video or the information I've given you in the syllabus and these links. Good luck.